20-minute tomato sauce, how to make marinara sauce from scratch using bone broth. Coming up next. Hey friends, it's Elizabeth with Abundant Apartment Lifestyles. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and check out our playlist for other healthy dinners. So we're first going to use 15 ounces of the incredible Fond Bone Broth. I'm using Inside Job as the flavoring, but you could use any of the Fond Bone Broth flavors that I will link down below. We're also going to go ahead and use 2 pinches of pink Himalayan salt, 2.5 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil with garlic, 2 pinches of fresh Jack's cracked pepper, then also 12 ounces of organic tomato paste, 3 garlic cloves, a half a teaspoon of dried Italian seasoning, and then also I had 3 basil leaves from outside from my garden, but you could use a half a teaspoon of dried basil instead. So with Fond Bone Broth, thank you so much, Fond, for sponsoring today's video. I will link down below of how you can get on auto ship with Fond Bone Broth, the amazing bone broth benefits. If you don't know, I will link that video down below of how good bone broth is for our health, is for our guts, is for our bodies. Absolutely, Fond is on rotation daily for our family's food because it is so nourishing, because it does taste so good. I will link fondbonebroth.com listed down below so you can get your bone broth on auto shipped and shipped directly to your door so you don't have to make it. So from this tomato sauce is the easiest 20-minute recipe. Literally right now I'm using fresh garlic cloves. The recipe calls for 3 garlic cloves. I'm actually using 4 because I like extra garlic, but use whichever one you want. You're simply going to go ahead and mince up your garlic, and then I'm going to go ahead and get a Dutch oven heated on very low temperature over the stove while I'm getting these all chopped up, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the minced garlic into my Dutch oven with 2.5 teaspoons of the extra virgin olive oil. I like Lakanto olive oil, the garlic infused kind, because it's fresh from Greece, and the extra flavoring from it is amazing, and it's infused with garlic. Again, I love garlic. You don't have to use a garlic olive oil, but that's my preference. So 2.5 teaspoons into a very light heat. I'm going to go ahead and saute the garlic in there for 5 minutes so it gets the nice aromas, the nice flavors going for our tomato sauce and for our marinara sauce from scratch. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my 3 basil leaves, or if you wanted to use a half a teaspoon of dried basil, whatever you feel most comfortable with. But we have a little garden. It's very simple to grow basil if you've never done it. Super, super easy from a container on your balcony. You can grow it in your apartment. So we're going to go ahead and put our basil in. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a half a teaspoon of our dried Italian seasonings into there as well, stirring it all around. And letting, again, that garlic marinate in there for about 5 minutes on low heat. Then I'm going to go ahead and put that Italian seasoning in. I also like to use fresh Jack's seasonings, which I will link down below because they do have organic seasonings. The reason why I love Fond Bone Broth, which is going to be one of our other ingredients, is because the ingredients are so clean, because the flavors are so enriched, and the healing properties of bone broth. So having this, I know I'm feeding my family a really, really healthy meal. So I put in there 2 pinches of pink Himalayan salt, 2 pinches of cracked pepper. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my full Fond Bone Broth jar into there, which is 15 ounces. I am using their flavor Inside Job, but you could use any of their different flavors. They have a ton of variety to pick from. And again, you can get on their auto ship, which is my favorite, where I don't have to think about the delivery. I just get it auto shipped every couple of weeks to our house. We do save these jars, which I'm going to show you how to repurpose. That's where you're going to put your marinara sauce after it's cooked. So I'm going to let that sit for a couple of minutes, let it be on low heat together. I'm going to go ahead and take my 12 ounces of organic tomato paste, put that in again on low heat, and then I'm going to start to whisk it and stir it together to make sure I mix together with the bone broth all of the organic tomato paste with all the delicious herbs in there, with the garlic flavoring, with the olive oil. Oh, it tastes so good. So we're going to let that kind of mix together without sputtering around too high of heat. Keep it on low. And again, just let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes on low, occasionally whisking it around so you can see it's thickening up. And then there's my leftover Fond Bone Broth jars. I've already washed them through the dishwasher, and then this is how I can fill up my marinara sauce. You could actually make double or triple this recipe. In fact, I would encourage you to, so you don't have to worry about making more. But this actually filled up a jar and a half of the Fond Bone Broth for later after we did a serving of it. the smell was so good. I wanted to have freshly grated Parmesan to go on top of my Fond Bone Broth marinara. This tomato sauce is so good. You could actually add beef to it too. I didn't for this round, but you very well could add beef to your marinara sauce. Look at that, from scratch. My little 4-year-old was so excited, but the healing benefits of the Fond Bone Broth with the marinara makes for a really healthy dinner, a really easy dinner. I did want to add on top of there my freshly grated Parmesan. We did have some extra basil, so I'm going to garnish it with a little basil as well. But my friends, you could put this in an airtight container, have it in your refrigerator for the next 5 days, and you could use this on top of pizzas. You could use it on top of spaghetti. If you're doing low carb, you could use palmini noodles. You could do this, you can make it with your meatloaf. You can use this tomato sauce for so many different recipes. Add beef to it, add chicken to it. You can make so many delicious things, but the marinara sauce with the herbs, with the garlic, and look how thick it is too. The healing properties that collagen and the Fond Bone Broth provide as well. I cannot say enough good things. I personally buy mine. It is not sent to me by the company because I want to feed my family the freshest ingredients with Fond Bone Broth. And look how much extra I made of the marinara sauce. I have tons. We have tons for the rest of the week, and it was so simple, y'all. This was under 20 minutes to make. So if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and check out our playlist for other healthy dinners, and go get a case of the auto ship of Fond Bone Broth down in the description link below. Bye, friends.